Welcome to my channel if you guys are new. This is another fun girl chat. I did one last month and you guys seemed to really like it, so I figured I would do another one, and this one is all of your questions that you guys asked here on YouTube. The last video was questions from Instagram, but if you guys have any questions for the next girl chat, leave them in the comments below, and that's literally where I'm getting all the questions for this video. They're in the comments from the last video. So I have my laptop here because that's where all the questions are. They're on the video, and right now I'm using my phone to download another video for later on my channel, so I can't really use my cell phone. But let's just get right into it. If you guys like these kind of videos, be sure to subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up even if you don't have any questions. If you do like this video, because I do these videos once a month. This is only my second time doing this video, so if you guys don't like it, I'll just stop doing them. But if you do like it, then I'll keep doing them. I just feel like I didn't have someone in my life, I don't know, that I felt like I could ask anything to for a long time, and I hope to be that person for you, where you feel like you have a friend that you can literally just ask anything to and they'll answer. So yeah, the first question someone asked, they said that you just turned 29 and you'd love to hear more about making new friendships as an adult. That's another focus of mine as I aim to build more intentional friendships. You also said that you loved what I said in the last video, just about doing what makes you feel like your childhood self. Because I said that like you should do more of that, I think, to love yourself more. Like I talked a lot about that in the last video. But making friends is hard. There's nothing easy about it, and I feel like we just don't talk about that enough. I feel like you see often in movies how like girls will literally meet another girl and they're instantly best friends for life, and they have like one falling out and then they like get back together as friends and they have like the perfect friendship, and that's just not how life goes. And I wish that we were more honest about how friendships can be just as hard as building relationships with our potential like spouses and stuff. You just don't see that as much. I would say for me, it took me a long time to build any friendships. I tried to act like everyone around me for a really long time, so I don't think that people really got to know the real me for years. And I think that that really hindered me from actually building true friendships, because the people who like knew me, I think they knew who I was trying to be, and I was trying to be someone that I thought that they wanted to have as a friend. Like if someone asked my opinion on something, I would always ask what their opinion was, and I would try to like mimic that back to them. And I don't think that that adds to a friendship if you're not being your true self, because I don't know, like you're just not able to like be open and honest and vulnerable when you're trying to replicate like what you think that they want to see. So that hindered me a lot with friendship. And then I say I started building friendships when I moved back to my hometown, and I wasn't hanging out with anyone from high school because I wanted to really build new connections, and I wasn't really the person that I was in high school, so I didn't feel like those relationships served me anymore. So building friendships from scratch was really difficult. I had to just reach out to people in the most random ways. Like at the gym, I asked one of my friends if she like wanted to get drinks or get dinner. And that's how I met one of my good friends. And then another good friend of hers that I met through her and is now one of my friends, she like brought over for a boat day. Taylor, the girl you guys see in my vlogs all the time, literally someone that lives in town was like, I think you'll really like this girl, you should like get lunch with her. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous to like ask if she wants to hang out. And I literally DM'd her, and like it took a couple weeks because she was kind of like nervous about meeting a random person, and so was I. And then we hung out and we've been like super close ever since. So I literally just DM'd a random person on Instagram that lived in my town. A girl that I met recently, who she's coming over to hang out on Tuesday and watch the new season of Bachelor in Paradise. She is someone that I met, literally I was getting drinks at a bar downtown, and it's not like a bar where you like go out, there's like pizza and food and like trivia night, so it's like real chill. I loved her outfit, and I was standing in line to get a drink, and I was like, oh my God, your outfit's so cute. And she was like, oh my God, like I follow you on Instagram. I was like, what? No way. And she was like, yeah, I just moved here because I'm in med school, and I moved here and I didn't really know anyone, but like when I searched Springfield on Instagram, like you came up. So she's like, I love seeing like your Springfield recs. And so we just kind of got to chatting, and I was asking like where she'd been and what she'd done in town so far. And she was just like, oh, like I haven't done this, I haven't done that. So I was like, well, you want to get like dinner or drinks or something some night? And she was like, yeah. So we've hung out since then, and she's like an incredible person. And I think that the biggest tip I can give to make friendships is you have to leave your ego and pride at the door, and you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Like I could have went up to her and just said like, love your outfit, or said nothing. Or if I said something, I could have left it at love your outfit, but I pushed further and asked like, you know, what have you done in town? Would you want to hang out? And there have been many times where I've DM'd someone or texted someone and asked to hang out with them, and they have said no over and over and over again, or they've said they're busy. And I just have to take it at face value and realize that like other people have lives too, and it's not like a slap in the face to me if they're busy. It just means they have a life outside of mine, and if I really want to get to know them, then I'll like push through and try to hang out with them again. And then over time, I'll see whether they feel like investing in a friendship with me is worthwhile or not. And usually I can see that by whether they like end up hanging out or not, or if we vibe. So that's the biggest tip I give, is just to put yourself out there. And I actually have a whole video on making friendships that I'll link below. There's little actual tips on how to make friends as an adult. And like I walk you through how I make friends. Like I literally go into a coffee shop and I'm like talking to people, and like you kind of see like how I build connections. So I'll link that below if you guys want to watch that. Another question someone asked, they said, well, first they said, I'm learning to be okay with enjoying my own company. I'm loving it, and it's a process. I do have good days when I'm excited to take myself out, and bad days when I'm like sad that I'm alone. So how do you feel when you're enjoying your own company? And has it helped you mentally to get away from everything else going on around you and taking time for yourself? That is such a great question. And I actually have a whole video on how to spend time alone and how I've like learned to love my alone time. I think I have a couple of videos. I'll link those below too. But the first question that you said, how do I feel when I'm enjoying my own company? At first it felt weird. Like when I first started, I was like, it just felt lonely. It didn't feel fun to me. But I think that the trick to making it make it go from being lonely to actually enjoyable is to date yourself. So spending time alone, like just sitting and watching a show by yourself, or, you know, just, I don't know, reading a book by yourself, those can be fun sometimes, but they can also be lonely, I think, because we aren't like romanticizing the moment. And so anytime I spend time alone, I make it a really worthwhile moment, and I kind of pretend like I'm dating myself in a way. So if I'm reading a book, I very rarely will read inside my house. I'll like go and sit outside on a little picnic in the backyard, or I'll go to a park, or I'll go sit by the water. I always make it like a moment, like I make it a thing. And it doesn't even have to be a big deal, but you know, if you're listening to a podcast, maybe take a walk while you listen to that podcast, or go to a coffee shop and get a coffee, or even just like read your book in a coffee shop. I think romanticizing the moment versus just being alone is what makes the switch from being like, this alone time sucks, to wow, this alone time is really fulfilling. You know, if I'm reading inside and let's say I don't go anywhere, I will literally make it feel like a date. Like if I'm watching a movie by myself, I'm getting on my favorite pajamas, I'm like showering, I'm getting on my favorite perfume, I'm lighting amazing candles, and like just feeling that sense of like, I don't know, relaxation, and I'm like building that for myself. If I turn on my favorite movie, I have popcorn, I have like all my favorite snacks, I have probably my favorite like thing to eat. I'm probably texting like my best friend. Like I'm doing all the things that you kind of see in movies, like girls, if they like have a girls' night or something. Like I feel like those movies are romanticizing life in a way that we almost don't, because we feel like it takes too much time. Like the other day, obviously this isn't something I did by myself, but like I went with my friend Taylor, and we went and made mood boards. That is easily something you could make as an alone like date for yourself. Literally get some magazines, get a piece of paper or cardboard and like cut up like pictures that like you resonate with and that you think are cool. And I made like a really cool collage and we did it together, but like make your alone time a moment and romanticize that moment. And I think that that's what makes it go from being like lonely to actually enjoyable. You also said, has it helped you mentally to get away from everything else going on around you and take time for yourself? Yes, yes, and yes, it's helped so much. I feel like that also helped me build friendship, because before, when I was trying to make friends, I was really looking at those friendships to fulfill something in me that was kind of empty. Like I would only go and do things outside of my house if I was like with friends, which I think is extremely unhealthy, or if I was with Brady, which I also think is unhealthy. So I was pretty much relying on all of my joy or fun time on other people. And now that I do things alone, I will literally go to a restaurant, order my favorite meal, and like make it a whole moment just by myself. And knowing that I don't need anyone else and I only want people in my life, but like they don't have to be there for me to have an enjoyable life, is what has changed like me mentally. And I just feel so much stronger, so much more independent. I feel comfortable saying no to things, and I feel comfortable like not being friends with someone if I don't resonate with who they are or we don't connect. Like, I don't know, it's just changed me so much. And I think a big part of like building friendship, being confident in myself, and just like loving life more is the alone time I make for myself. Like I'm so excited to get done with work today and literally go outside, get a blanket, read a book, and just like watch the sunset with my favorite book. Like I just can't wait. And so I really encourage you to maybe start small. If you're kind of like nervous to go and do something really big by yourself, maybe go to the park. That's all you gotta do. Go on a walk. Like do something very small and do it by yourself, but romanticize the moment. So like if you're going on a walk, listen to your favorite podcast, listen to a jazz playlist, really like focus on things that bring you joy while you're in that moment, and I swear it will just change things so much. Well, that is it for this girl chat. I know that that one was more of a short one. I mean, I talked only about like really 2 things specifically, but I feel like I talked about them in depth, and I think that that's important. But those are the only questions you guys asked. So if you guys ask a lot of questions, then I'll answer a lot of questions. If you answer only a few, I'll answer only a few. I don't have usually a ton of comments, so I'll usually maybe get like 10 or maybe 20 or something. So it makes it really easy to answer every single question. So if you guys have any questions, and it doesn't even have to be like, you know, maybe advice or anything on like mindset. Maybe if you just want to know like what my dog's name is or how old he is. His name is Bane, he's 8. You can ask that, like literally you can ask anything. I just want this to be a way for us to like hang out. I feel like a lot of my vlogs are kind of like me talking to you, like kind of like we're on FaceTime, and it feels that way. But I also want to make sure that I'm giving you guys a space to share your thoughts with me, that I can respond. Because I know in vlogs a lot of the time, if you guys comment, I always answer every comment on vlogs, but I don't like it to give a verbal response, you know. And I think because I'm such a visual person, like I like to be able to talk to you, and I like that if I'm talking to someone else that they can talk back to me. So this is my way of us being able to like have our own little time together and talk to each other. So I'll do another video next month, probably the end of next month, but drop all your comments in this video, and for the next video I'll just look back on this video and get all the questions that I have for next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I know I probably say that a lot, but like this place on YouTube is so special to me. I think because I started it as a hobby and it's grown into like obviously a career, but I feel like I have the best friendships, and I'm not just saying that. I think people say all the time like, oh, I have the best people in my life, like best community. Like, no, you guys are literally just, I couldn't ask for anything better. I feel like we grow together. I feel like all of us want to like just be better people and kind and loving, and I don't know. I don't know how I got so lucky to have so many amazing people in one place. So be sure to subscribe if you're new and you haven't. And if you guys want to chat in the next girl chat, leave any questions below and I will be sure to answer them in the next chat. I'm gonna answer all the questions in the next one. So drop as many questions as you have, even if there's like more than one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.